Ruben Amorim's first game in charge of Manchester United is right around the corner, which means we can finally address the big question. How is he actually going to set up? Now, to be honest, this one is incredibly difficult. Predicting Amorim's first starting 11 feels like mission impossible. But today we are going to give it our best effort and also take a look at how Manchester United can actually hurt Ipswich from a tactical point of view. Before we get into any of that, if you guys could quickly subscribe to the channel, it would be massively appreciated. And once you've done that, we'll get into the video. So we'll start off in goal. This part isn't particularly complicated. Andre Onana will be the starting goalkeeper for Manchester United. He has prevented the most expected goals of any keeper in the Premier League. There is absolutely no reason to change that. Straight away as we move into centre-backs, things immediately become complicated. Lisandro Martinez, is he fit? I don't think so. Lindelof, Maguire also both seem like they are out with injury. So let's start on the left side of the fence, and I'm going to go for Jonny Evans for this match. Now naturally that may not make a lot of sense because normally I would label him as a central centre-back. But if you consider the fact that United should dominate the ball theoretically in this game, I think Amorim will favour Jonny Evans' ball playing ability and the fact that he can use his left foot. Even if he's not left-footed, he can use his left foot on the left-hand side of the fence. So I think he will be used in that position for ball progression in this game. That means as the central centre-back, we will have De Ligt in the team. Again, this feels fairly straightforward, to be honest. He's a big, strong physical presence. He makes sense from a defensive point of view. He will ultimately be trying to tie up De Ligt, the Ipswich Town forward, but I think he should be good enough to be able to do that. And in terms of on the ball, he should have a fairly basic role where things are pretty simple for him, just kind of retaining possession, keeping the ball ticking over. And then on the right hand side of defence, finally, we might have a little bit of mobility. And I'm going to take a gamble and say Leny Yoro is going to come into the starting 11. Now I know it's a bit of a risk, but he's been out for over 3.5 months now. He has had plenty of time to recover. And he is almost being saved for this game. He was taken off of under 21 duty. So I think he might come into this team. And in terms of what he can bring from this position, well, we broke all of that down in yesterday's video. So go make sure to check that video out. But that's my back three for this game. As we move into midfield, I think things are a little bit simpler. We'll start off with that right-sided central midfielder, the one which tends to play a little bit deeper. I think Ugarte makes a lot of sense here, mainly because Amorim knows his game inside out. And I think when you're a new manager, coming to a new club, trying to bring in new beliefs almost, and new systems, having a player who knows your style is absolutely perfect. And in terms of that transitional period at the start at a new club, I think he's the perfect player to have. So I think Manuel Ugarte will play that position. Alongside him, again, I'm taking a bit of a risk with a player returning from injury, but I think we will see Kobbie Mainoo. He's been out of action for about 7 weeks now, and I think it will be time now that he comes back into the 11. We have seen him in training, he looks alright there, he looks fairly sharp, and I think from a tactical point of view, he makes a lot of sense for this position. He's an excellent connecting midfielder, able to drop deep and get the ball off others, but also move the ball forward, carry the ball forward into the final third, but also link and occasionally be creative in the final third as well. So I think Kobbie Mainoo makes a lot of sense for that position. Then we get the big question, the big one, the two wing backs. How does this work? I'm going to start off on the left-hand side, and my thought process here is trying to protect Jonny Evans, who athletically isn't the greatest player in the world. So I'm going to go for, more naturally, a fullback on this side of the fence. And I'm going to put Mazraoui into this position. Now, the reason I'm going for Mazraoui is because he has played this role before at international level. At the World Cup the other year, he played a couple of games as a left-sided wing-back. In terms of on the ball, we know that he is extremely two-footed, unbelievably technical. So I think he is our most suited defender to this role. In an ideal world, you would have someone like Luke Shaw, but I doubt he is ready yet. And the same for Tyrell Malacia as well. So I'm going to go for Mazraoui on this side for that extra bit of protection. And then we move to the right-hand side. And this is one of the most 50-50 decisions in the whole team, in my opinion. Is it Dalot or is it Anthony? Now, we've seen Anthony in training, and to be fair, he's looked fairly bright there. But I think what Amorim might go for is Dalot. And I think the reason he might go for him is the physical side of the game. Once again, Dalot has played as a wing-back before. He done it for Portugal for one game at the Euros. And just generally speaking, Dalot is a very athletic individual. His brilliant stamina levels, he has that ability to get up and down the pitch. Defensively, he's not bad, he's solid. You know, attacking-wise, he's not unbelievable, but again, he's fairly solid. I think it's quite a safe pick for Amorim to go for in his first game. You know you're going to get energy, you're going to get work rate, intensity. So I think he makes sense as a wing-back. I'm not saying this will be the way we set up in the long term, but for this game, I think it's what we'll see. Now, as we move into the front three, we kind of need to balance out some of the other issues we've already got in the starting 11, and that is the fact that we are kind of lacking left-footers in this team. So for me, straight away, I want Ahmad in this starting 11. Being a left-footed player, he will stop Manchester United being too one-dimensional. So I would get him in the team, and he makes sense in that right inside forward position. I really think this could be a good role for him. And then on the left-hand side, he plays literally every game. Bruno Fernandes in that left-hand position, bringing a real creativity to this Manchester United team, and of course actual goal-scoring ability as well. And I've always felt that the left half space is his best position, so it sort of makes sense to me. And then we've got the striker, and again there's two players for this position in my opinion. Again, I see it as a bit of a straight-up 50-50, Rasmus Højlund or Marcus Rashford. Højlund for me is more traditionally and more naturally a striker. Marcus Rashford has been training this week more than what Rasmus Højlund has in terms of under Amorim at United. I'm going to go for Rashford for this game. I'm going to go for Rashford up front, and it means that the starting 11 looks a little bit like this. And in terms of how it plays on the pitch, I think it gives United some real potential to hurt Ipswich in the way that we attack. I think if we can move the ball forward through the first phase effectively, I think we've got a lot of tactical advantages. And the big one is the ability to get the front five up against the Ipswich back four. This is something that Ipswich have really struggled with from a defensive point of view this season. When teams have come at them with 5 players, they've struggled to match up with them. And what we will often see is that Ipswich almost don't really commit man-to-man, but that kind of leaves them with a bit of a problem. You see, the wing-back kind of ends up with this channel of space. You've then got the inside forward gets this channel, the striker gets this channel, the left inside forward gets it here, and the other wing-back here. Ipswich never quite know who to pick up, and I think with the combination play of the likes of Ahmad and Bruno in the half spaces, I think it could give us a real advantage. And it's been a weakness for Ipswich all season long, really. You can see it in a situation like this. We've got the number 9 on the far right. Let's class that as the striker. The next player along, let's call him an inside forward. And then let's say that player on the far side on the ball is kind of a wing back in this particular situation. And you can see as the ball comes forward, Ipswich never quite pick up a man. There is these 3 channels that you can get into and really penetrate with your direct runs towards the final third. And when Ipswich don't really pick up a man each, it does mean that passing and moving football can really hurt them. Combination play like this. Imagine Bruno Fernandes, Ahmad in these positions. I think there's a lot of potential for us to cause a lot of problems in these positions. And I think it's something that United should absolutely go for in this game. Another situation here. Here is against Brentford. Brentford are in a front 5. I'll move myself out of the way. Front 5 across the front line. And what you can see, again, is the channels of space that they can get into. Again, the defenders aren't really picking up a player each. So each attacking Brentford player has a lane that they can attack, and as a result, as Brentford move the ball forward, they eventually combine, play the ball in behind the defence, and Ipswich have to react. They have to get their players across, but they're going to leave a free man somewhere all the time because they only defend with 4 players. And again, Brentford were able to make the most of it and eventually put the ball into the back of the net because of that front 5 attacking shape. And again, we know that Manchester United will attack in this way with this front 5 up against the defence, and I think it just creates a real opportunity for Manchester United to be direct, be dangerous. Again, you can imagine Ahmad, for example, in this Jared Bowen position, picking up the ball, driving inside, linking with the centre forward. I think it's a great way for Manchester United to score goals in this game. I think something else that United can really take advantage of in this game, using this shape, is deliveries from wide areas, particularly down the right-hand side, and particularly with Ahmad in the team. You see, Ipswich this season, what they seem to hate facing is a left-footed player on the right-hand side who has support, for example, from a wing-back. Let's say the wing-back goes forward, takes the attention of the full-back, and then this inside forward can come infield with the ball onto their left foot. Ipswich have really struggled with deliveries towards the back post. Some of these deliveries have actually gone straight into the back of the net, but if you attack the back post with a lot of numbers, which United could do in this shape, you know, Mazraoui attacking around the far post, Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford as well, again, I think this is a real opportunity for United to cause problems, and this is one of the main reasons why I would go with Ahmad in the starting 11. His left foot brings a balance to this attack, and an attacking dynamic that Ipswich don't traditionally like to deal with. You can see it here. Player on the ball cuts inside onto his left foot as the defender goes flying round on the overlap. You can see it creates the room to come inside, and then it's about that delivery towards the far post. Lots of players in the box here from Brentford, and as the ball comes in, Ipswich just don't deal with it at all, and actually, eventually, it bounces into the back of the net. We've got another example here. Again, player coming inside onto his stronger left foot as someone goes round on the overlap. It gives him just enough time to get that delivery towards the back post. And again, if you have enough players attacking that back post area, Ipswich really struggle to deal with these situations. They struggle to deal with the first ball, but also the second ball as well. And again, when you've got 3 or 4 players in this area, it gives you that opportunity to get on the second ball and get shots off in a situation like this. And we've still got another example as well. This time it's Jared Bowen for West Ham. You can see him moving inside, again onto his left foot. Ahmad could easily do this sort of role. And then it is that clipped ball towards the back post, like so. And again, Ipswich fail to pick up the man. The runner comes in from the blind side and gets himself into a really good goal scoring position. That's why I've ultimately gone for this balance with my starting 11 in the attack. There is absolutely potential for someone like Anthony to play on the right hand side. We could see that. If things are going badly and we need a goal, Garnacho could come on in this game. I think Mason Mount is definitely someone we will see at some point in this match. And also Højlund could have an impact from the bench as well. In terms of actually finalising my starting 11, I'm going to go with this. But let's be honest, it's incredibly hard to predict. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. What is your starting 11 for this game that you would go for? But also, what do you think Amorim will actually go for in this match? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And also give me a score prediction as well. But apart from that, we are finished for today. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.